What's up, team? We are here for today's full breakdown of the at-home workout. This one is gonna torch your legs, I hope. So if you're not ready for a super tough leg screamer of a workout, move on, go elsewhere. But if you're ready to embrace that, guys, stick around. Let's get the party started. So we are gonna start things off with 8 minutes on the clock. You're gonna do as many rounds as possible of 20 per leg mountain climbers and 8 stripper squats. Here's the deal. So for your mountain climbers, guys, we're in your top of your push-up position. And of course, we're gonna shuffle your legs, a knee coming up between your hands, or between your elbows, excuse me, and then a leg fully extended behind you. And we're just hopping back and forth, so 20 per leg. If you have sliders, feel free to go ahead and use them. For your stripper squat, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get your squat stance. So heels are about shoulder width apart. I'm down in the bottom of my squat. I'm gonna take my fingers and I'm gonna jam them in under my toes. So I'm gonna sit up nice and tall, with my chest, but my butt is super low. So this is the bottom of that. And then I'm gonna keep my hands under my toes and send my butt up into the air as high as I can while keeping my hands trapped. So you may not have the flexibility to get all the way up. That's cool. Get as far as you can and then come back down. So here's 1 rep, back down. Here's 2, back down, and so on. So we're gonna do 8 of those, right? So that's 8 at the bottom and 8 at the top, however you wanna count that. So 8 minutes, as many rounds as possible, 20 per leg climbers, and then 8 stripper squats. So that alone should set off your legs nicely. Then we're gonna move on to some abductions. Now, this one is pretty deceiving in my opinion. We're gonna need to balance on something. I'm just gonna use my white bar here. Feel free to just head over to the wall or a piece of exercise gear. We're gonna set your clock for 3 minutes on this one, guys. So I'm balancing on my white bar. I'm gonna do 8 abductions on my right leg. So I'm squeezing, I'm not kicking and letting my leg drop. I'm squeezing up and controlling down. So I'm gonna do 8 on that leg, immediately switch. Notice there was no time in transition there. So 8 on this leg, switch right back right away. 8 on this leg. So I'm not like taking time off and trying to relax and shake it out between. I'm trying to stay on the reps for 3 straight minutes, and that should set you guys on fire here. Then we get rid of that. Then we move on to a 400-meter run, immediately followed by Tabata wall sits. So we are gonna need a Tabata timer. So that's 8 rounds, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And then when you're done with the Tabata wall sit, you're gonna hit another 400-meter run. So treat that like 3 moves back to back. You're gonna run, do the entire 8 rounds of the Tabata wall sit, and then run again at the end of that. And I do want you to take off running right at the tail end of the wall set. I don't want you to shake it out for a minute, wait for your legs to get back underneath you. I want you to try to run on really trashed legs. So for your wall sit, guys, I don't have a wall nearby. Hopefully you can see me way over here at the cage. So we want a 90-degree thigh. So my thigh is parallel to the floor, my shin is perpendicular to the floor, I've got a 90-degree knee and a 90-degree hip, and my hands are off my legs. So I'm gonna stay here for 20 seconds, I'll pop up for 10 seconds. I tend to not move my feet because I don't wanna lose my position, and then I'll drop back in for the next 20 and so on and so forth for the 8 rounds, all right? So after that, then you can shake it out for a minute. Now's the time to stretch out your quads and rest your legs. Then we move on to the next bracket. So this one's a slower bracket. We're gonna do some leg curls. So I'm assuming you guys have a band. So what we need is some anchor point. I don't really care what you guys attach this to, as long as that object isn't gonna break or move or endanger you somehow. So I'm going to trap this band on the back of my heel. I like putting it on my shoes so the band's not against my skin. And I'm just going to squeeze my heel towards what I'm sitting on, whether it's a chair or a bench or whatever. So I'm going to do 8 of these on this leg and then switch legs, of course, and then 8 on the other leg. So I'm trying to squeeze from the hamstrings to do this. So I'm going to do 8 per leg there. If I need more resistance, I would just scoot the bench back further, right, to stretch the band more. And we're going to pair that with some side planks. So hitting the floor, I'm in a side lying position, legs are stacked, elbows under the shoulder, and I'm nice and straight. I'm not bent and twisted and contorted. And then of course I'm going to do my hip taps to the ground. So hip touches the floor, and then get as much elevation as you possibly can. So 15 on this side, and then switch. Okay, now the fun begins. We are going to put that Tabata timer to use one more time. So 8 rounds, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We're going to do this to air squats, but we're going to do what we call bottoms up style. So typically an air squat starts at the top and then ends again at the top after we pass below parallel, right? So my rest is up here at full extension. My weight is resting on my bones, not on my muscles. Today, your squat starts at the bottom and ends at the bottom. So here's what this looks like. So 8 rounds, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So 3, 2, 1, go. So notice I'm not able to lock out at the top and stay there for any time. If I'm going to rest, it's going to be down here. So I'm going to do as many squats as I can do. And then during my 10-second rest interval, I am here. I'm at the bottom of my squat. And then next interval, I start squatting again. But I'm not allowed, here's what I'm not allowed to do, guys, is stand up. So that's going to be incredibly tempting to do, is just stand up and get the rest for the legs. But if you want to rest anywhere today, guys, it is down here. So this is your official 10-second rest interval, and it is your break station. So do your absolute best to not stand up during that entire Tabata interval. Then what I want you guys to do is cash out with a 1-mile run. Now, if you're looking at your Wodify programming, it kind of says max effort because it's a time, record data thing. I'm not worried about that though. I just want you guys to go get some steps in and get a 1-mile run in. If you're on run restriction, feel free to row a mile or bike multiple miles. You probably need to bike somewhere between 3 and 5 miles time equivalency. So anyway, cashing out with a 1-mile run, guys. And then of course I'd recommend maybe some foam rolling for the legs, some quad stretches, anything like that. Great job, guys. I hope you embrace that leg workout for all it's worth. Work as hard as you can on it. It should be a leg burner for sure. I don't think anybody needs any weights anywhere on that one. Enjoy it, and we will see you guys next time.